Michael screamed in terror as the Graknar's jaws snapped shut an inch from his face, rancid breath blasting over him. On planet Arcturus, the human xenobiologist Michael Allen faced doubt from his Arcturan hosts. Advanced and proud, the Arcturans believed humans had nothing to offer them. Michael requested to study the Graknar, Arcturus's apex predator. Six-legged, venomous with razor claws, the beast inspired great fear. Many Arcturans died trying to tame it. Michael's liaison. Murloc scoffed, sure the puny human would fail and humiliate himself, but Michael had to succeed. The scientific exchange was humanity's only chance to gain Arcturan technology and save Earth from a coming asteroid. Driven by desperation, Michael dove into research, searching for some vulnerability. He soon saw the Arcturans' mistake, trying to dominate the intelligent social Graknar with force and cruelty. There had to be another way, but Michael was running out of time to find it. Michael's mind raced as he pieced together a plan. He marched straight to Murloc's office, his jaw set with determination. Murloc looked up from his desk, mandibles twitching in annoyance. "I need permission to enter Graknar territory, alone and unarmed," Michael declared. Murloc's compound eyes widened. Then he let out a series of clicking noises, laughter. "You want to waltz into a Graknar nest with no weapons? I knew you humans were stupid. But this is a new low." "I am serious, this is the only way. Your people have been going about this all wrong." "Fine, human. Go get yourself eaten. Maybe your failure will finally teach your species to stop reaching beyond your capabilities." Murloc waved a clawed hand dismissively. Michael nodded, turning on his heel and walking out. He gathered his supplies, a pack filled with water, rations, and, most importantly, Graknar fruit. He also grabbed a small drone to document his efforts. The humid jungle air clung to Michael's skin as he hiked deeper into the dense foliage. Screeches and roars echoed through the trees. Michael's heart pounded, but he pressed forward. A deafening roar sounded right behind him. Michael spun around to see a massive Graknar male emerging from the brush, flanked by two slightly smaller females. Smaller Graknar pups peeked out from behind their legs. The male roared again, coiling back on his haunches to pounce. Michael's instinct screamed at him to run, but he held his ground. As the beast charged, Michael sank to his knees, hunching his shoulders and angling his head down submissively. The Graknar skidded to a halt, confusion evident in its 6 red eyes. It snarled, circling Michael slowly. The females and pups watched warily from the sidelines. Low growls rumbled in their throats as they sniffed the air, trying to figure out this strange creature that didn't smell like prey. Michael held perfectly still, fighting every urge to make eye contact. One wrong move could spell his doom. Slowly, deliberately, he reached a hand into his pack, grasping one of the fruits. The male tensed, hissing, but as Michael withdrew the fruit and held it out in his open palm, the Graknar paused. It stretched its neck out, nostrils flaring as it took in the sweet scent. In a flash, the beast darted forward, snatching the fruit from Michael's hand. Michael resisted the urge to flinch. The Graknar drew back, chomping the fruit to bits, juice dripping from its fangs. Michael pulled out another fruit, tossing it gently to one of the females. She caught it mid-air, gulping it down greedily. Slowly, keeping his movements calm and predictable, Michael offered a fruit to each Graknar in turn. Their growls faded into curious chuffs and snorts. The pups crept closer, sniffing at Michael's pack, hoping for more treats. He obliged, doling out fruit to the eager youngsters. As the Graknar family enjoyed their unexpected feast, Michael dared to lift his gaze. The male met his eyes, and for a breathless moment, a sort of understanding passed between them. Michael spent the following weeks visiting Titan and his family every day. He brought Graknar fruit each time, but also started carrying a journal to record his observations. He noted how the smallest female, whom he named Luna, was the most playful of the group. She often instigated games of chase with her siblings. The largest female, Athena, acted as a disciplinarian, breaking up squabbles and ensuring the pups didn't wander too far. But Titan fascinated Michael the most. The massive male displayed a keen intelligence behind his 6 crimson eyes. He seemed to understand Michael's intentions quicker than the others, and tolerated the human's presence the most. One day, while offering Titan a piece of fruit, Michael hesitantly reached out and brushed his fingertips against the Graknar's scales. Titan tensed for a moment, but then relaxed, allowing the contact. His scales were surprisingly smooth and warm. A low rumble emanated from Titan's chest, not quite a growl, but almost a purr. As Michael spent more time observing the Graknars, he started noticing patterns in their vocalizations and body language. A certain trill seemed to be a greeting, while a huff through the nostrils signaled irritation. Lowered haunches indicated submission, while an arched back displayed aggression. Michael attempted to mimic some of these sounds and postures. His first attempts at Graknar calls sounded more like he was choking on a whistle, but with practice, he managed a passable imitation of a friendly chuff. The Graknars cocked their heads at him, intrigued by the strange not-Graknar who spoke their language. Murloc and the other Arcturans watched these interactions through the feed from Michael's drone, mandibles agape in shock. No one had ever gotten this close to Graknars without being mauled. As Michael continued his visits, he noticed Titan moving with a pronounced limp, favoring his back right leg. Upon closer inspection, he saw an old, oozing wound, possibly from a fight with another male. The injury clearly pained Titan and slowed him down on hunts. This, Michael realized, was likely why Titan's family group was smaller than normal. He struggled to provide enough food. Michael's heart clenched. He had to help. Drawing on his knowledge of Arcturian biology and medicinal plants, he concocted a salve to promote healing and numb pain. He packed a jar of the ointment alongside his usual Graknar fruit for his next visit. When he arrived, Michael waited until Titan was relaxed and lying down. Slowly, broadcasting his movements, he scooped out some of the salve and reached for Titan's leg. The Graknar watched him warily, but didn't protest as Michael gently applied the medicine to the wound. Over the following days, Michael repeated this treatment. Gradually, Titan's wound started to heal, the swelling reducing and the gait evening out. Titan moved with more ease and energy, able to chase down prey with renewed vigor. The other Graknars noticed the change. They began to approach Michael more readily, sniffing him with what almost seemed like gratitude. The pups clambered over him playfully, tugging at his clothes with their dull baby teeth. Athena even started grooming Michael, running her rough tongue over his hair in a gesture of acceptance. As Michael spent more time with the Graknars, Murloc seethed with resentment. The Arcturan liaison paced in his office, his claws clicking against the metal floor. He muttered to himself, mandibles twitching in agitation. That puny human, he must have some trick, some technology we don't know about. Mind control, perhaps. Murloc's compound eyes narrowed. He's planning something. Why else would he want to get close to those beasts? He's going to turn them against us, I know it. Murloc stomped over to his computer console and began typing furiously. He composed a message full of baseless accusations and wild speculations, claiming Michael had nefarious intentions. With a satisfied chuff, Murloc sent the message to his superiors and fellow government officials. Whispers began to spread through the Arcturan halls of power. Did you hear about the human? They say he's brainwashing the Graknars. I bet he wants to use them as weapons against us. We can't trust him. We can't trust any of the humans. The rumors even reached the public, sparking outrage and fear. Arcturans on the street hissed when they saw humans, spitting insults and calling for Michael to be locked up or worse. Michael, blissfully unaware of the growing hostility, focused on his budding friendship with the Graknars. He had an idea to help further reduce aggression among the species. He approached Titan with an excited grin. Hey, buddy, what do you say we go on a little field trip? I want to introduce you to the neighbors. Titan cocked his head, letting out a curious trill. Michael chuckled. Don't worry, it'll be fun. We'll make new friends. Loading up his pack with extra Graknar fruit, Michael set off with Titan's family in tow. They trekked through the dense jungle until they reached the territory of another Graknar group. The new Graknar spotted them and let out warning growls. But as Titan and his family approached with Michael, their growls faded into confused snorts. They caught Michael's scent on the other Graknars and seemed puzzled. Slowly, cautiously, the two groups came together. They sniffed each other, tails swaying low in a show of peace. Michael held his breath, hoping his plan would work. To his delight, the Graknars began to intermingle. They shared friendly chuffs and grooming licks. The pups from both families played together, tumbling and mock-wrestling in the dirt. As the groups bonded, they started to share resources too. The new Graknars led Titan to a prime hunting spot, while Athena showed the other females a grove of fruit trees. It was unprecedented cooperation. Michael's drone captured it all, streaming the incredible footage back to the Arcturans. They watched in awe as the once vicious predators nuzzled and shared food. But Murloc saw an opportunity. He gathered a contingent of Arcturan warriors spinning lies. The human has clearly brainwashed them with some illegal technology. We must capture him and interrogate him for the safety of Arcturus. The warriors nodded, grabbing their weapons. They followed Murloc into the jungle, toward the unsuspecting Michael and his Graknar companions. Murloc grinned, a plan forming in his mind. He would kill the human and make it look like a Graknar attack. Then they'd see how tame these beasts really were. Michael's heart raced as the Graknars around him started to huff and growl, their tails swishing in agitation. Titan moved to Michael's side, pressing his flank against the human's leg. The other males formed a loose circle around them, facing outward with hunched shoulders and bared teeth. A twig snapped in the underbrush. Michael's head jerked up to see Murloc striding into the clearing, flanked by a dozen Arcturan warriors armed with energy rifles. The Graknars snarled at the intruders, but held their ground at Michael's soft command. "Michael Allen," Murloc called out, his mandibles clicking with barely restrained anger. "You are to come with us immediately for questioning regarding your illegal activities with these beasts." Michael stepped forward, keeping one hand on Titan's shoulder. "I've done nothing wrong, Murloc. My research is above board and approved. The Graknars are no threat. They're intelligent, social creatures, if you'd just let me explain." "Enough lies," Murloc hissed. "You've clearly brainwashed them with some kind of human trickery. Now come quietly or we'll take you by force." The warriors raised their rifles, aiming at Michael and the Graknars. Titan roared, lashing his tail. Michael's mind raced. He couldn't let his friends be hurt. "Please, just listen." Michael held up his hands. "This isn't necessary. The Graknars—" "I said enough," Murloc screeched. "Take him." The warriors opened fire, blue bolts of energy sizzling through the air. The Graknars scattered with yelps of pain and fear. Michael lunged for Titan, trying to shield the massive male with his own body. A searing pain exploded in Michael's side, and he crumpled to the ground, blood soaking his shirt. Chaos erupted in the clearing. Enraged Graknars charged the warriors, claws and teeth flashing. Arcturans screamed as they were bowled over and mauled, their weapons useless in the close quarters. Murloc, seeing the battle turn against him, turned and fled into the jungle, abandoning his warriors. It was over in minutes. The surviving Arcturans lay groaning and bleeding on the ground. The Graknars, panting and streaked with blue and red blood, gathered around Michael's still form. Titan approached slowly, nudging Michael with his snout. A low, mournful keen built in his throat. Luna and Athena added their voices, and soon the entire clearing echoed with the Graknars' grief-stricken howls. In the following days, the truth about Murloc's treachery came to light. The Arcturan government, horrified by the unprovoked attack and shamed by their own prejudices, issued a formal apology to the humans. They posthumously awarded Michael their highest honors for his groundbreaking work and dedication to peace. The Arcturans vowed to learn from Michael's example. They established protections for the Graknars and their habitat, and committed to fostering greater understanding between their species. Years passed. In the heart of the Arcturan capital, a statue rose, a human and a Graknar side by side. Titan and Michael immortalized in stone, a testament to an unlikely friendship, to the power of compassion over fear, and to a legacy that would endure for generations. And in the jungles of Arcturus, the Gracnars thrived, never forgetting the human who had shown them a different way. Titan's descendants would pass down the story, ensuring that Michael's memory lived on. A symbol of hope, of the potential for understanding between even the most different of beings. For on Arcturus, a human and a Gracnar had changed the course of history, not through force or domination, but through the simplest and most profound of acts: friendship. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.